Hello everyone. What's this, you may be asking? Well, this is a Kickstarter for a game called Artificer, The Science of Magic. Now, before we get into this too much, I have two things to disclose just for transparency's sake. Now, the developers at, I honestly don't know how to pronounce that, Psycho-CB, something like that, games. Very small, independent, currently 2 people. A husband and wife team. Sorry, my apologies to them. It's a husband and wife and dog team. We'll get into that. Now, they contacted me by email several weeks ago, before the Kickstarter went live, and they offered me a key to play the game, and then if I liked it, to do a video on it and to help them promote. As some of you regular viewers may know, my health has been pretty crap with high levels of chronic pain for several months. I mean, more so than usual, and I never felt that I could do a kind of game review of the demo that they would give me a key for justice. So I never did one. I never wrote back, but I was able to let them know this anyways, which is something I'll get into later. So I came up with the idea of, well, I'm going to keep an eye on this and check it out and see what it's like in the game through how the eyes of anybody else who is just either coming across it or just hears about it in passing or something like that and takes a look. Because that is a little bit easier for me to deal with. Now, the second part of the transparency is I like the idea of this game. I like it enough that I spoke with my husband. He looked over the Kickstarter and we backed it. We backed it last night at the $15 tier. Yes, I'm telling you what tier that we got, and we're going to obviously go into that. So, let's see. I'm going to press play on this, and I'm going to mute, and this is just kind of an intro. You're crash landing, and you're surviving, and on this very strange planet of all organic stuff. But you're researching magic. Hang on. Science, right? Magic? Wait, this sounds strange. This sounds really, really weird. Now, we can get into this, but if you think of Factorio, and that was the example that they gave in a stream that they did that I was watching, where you could ask some questions, you can set up like a factory to make and do things for making potions and magic stuff and all that kind of thing. So, let's see. Oh, yes, there they are. And their dog, now that I remember the name, is Balthazar, is a part of the team. Very much so. Let's see. There's experimentation and stuff going on. Now, this sounds kind of interesting, but before we get into any more of the detail, I am recording this at approximately 3:14 p.m., September 14th. Okay. About 23 hours? No, almost 25 hours before they're going to do a live stream. And that's Eastern Standard Time for my time zone. So I'm going to put this video up as fast as I can. And hopefully you can check out their live stream, which seems to be the topic of the scope of the demo, what's going to be involved. And ask anything. You can submit a question. and they will answer your question and this kind of stuff. They are very active with the community, which is awesome. And as you can see, there's 110 backers. Their goal is only $5,000. I assume that's USD. And they have reached 3,214 at the time of this recording. Okay, now I'm going to get into what the way that it was described in a stream is the science part is on this planet that you crash land. You kind of like, oh crap, there's something wrong with your ship, escape pod, let's get the hell out of here. And you're potentially trying to find, oh, mind you, anything I say is subject to change. It's in development. It is a Kickstarter. If you are familiar with Kickstarter, things can change. It's, like early access, things can change. Something doesn't work out, they gotta go down a different path, or they think of something cooler, and they try and incorporate that. It's a standard way of things. Now, the science part of the game is, on this planet, and I'm going to be very much, getting this wrong in a way, and I do apologize, because it is, well, not my project, but there used to be a very highly advanced race that created nanotechnology that tended to the whims of the entire planet. And, well, the race disappeared, or they died out, or something. And now there's this what they are calling the swarm, which is nothing but nanobots, that kind of still adheres to the whim of everything on the planet, which kind of creates this environment and ecosystem where what we would consider magic possible. And so you're doing research and you're doing this kind of stuff to explore and progress through the world, to see things, to understand things, to hopefully find your shipmates who are still alive and that kind of thing. Now, the story, it's not linear. It's not a linear RPG. The way that I understood it to be, in the sense of how it was presented during the stream, it is very much kind of like Factorio or RimWorld or Minecraft. There is kind of like an end achievement, but you don't have to go in that direction. You can play almost however you want and progress. Some of the story, some not, so it's not so much side quests. Go over here and kill 5 rats and turn in the quest. The famous MMO ones, So, anyways, so now the story. We'll get into what it says here. You are a science officer posted on the colony ship Hawking. I'm guessing they chose the name Hawking in reference to Stephen Hawking. That would be my feel of it. That's the first thing that came to my mind. While in transit, the ship suffers a critical malfunction and the fusion cores overload. After a heroic attempt to evacuate the crew, you jump into the shuttle and launch yourself towards the nearest planet capable of sustaining life. Alcor 3B. You crash on a world where fears and hopes influence reality directly. That would be the nanobots being able to understand your whims, if you will, what, for lack of a better word, what you desire. And since maybe you don't have control of everything, I'm really scared. And and these fears of things, and they will manifest from the swarm. Then, well, that's kind of the impression I get from it. A world where magic is real. Dazzled by the phenomenon, you gather your wits and embark on a quest to master the magical arts, save yourself and your fellow crewmates in the process. Now, I'm not going to read everything at this point. That's the basic story, okay? I'm going to stop there. Is it Tesmir? But here's some art that they're doing and things labeled Unity Golem? Utility Golem. Osman. Warnak Moth. Warnak Larva. Undertaker. That's a pig. Living Bramble. Yeah, it's an Artificer. Oh, okay, and it's being called a survival RPG centered on creating magic. Literally creating magic. You spend your time in Tesmir crafting artifacts, researching arcane arts, exploring, and fighting monsters. So there is fighting. And there's research to do. These points will be used in research minigames, ultimately leading to magical discoveries. This seems to be for the minigame here, and I haven't heard anything talked about directly. This would be a memory game. I forget the actual name, the one where you're matching faces. You may have seen it as a child. Experimentation will be crucial. New research opportunities will present themselves while you test your magical arsenal. Ooh, have a sip. Oh, crap. Run away! Yes, crafting and harvesting. Here's that idea of creating a factory that I had mentioned. Now, your own magic factory. There you go. And there will be combat. Precisely how that will come about, I'm not too sure. They're still fine-tuning things about that, like just the concepts. Autopsy. That's a standard research thing of understanding the biology around us. We've been doing it for centuries. Makes sense to me. Learn more of our concept document. The difficulty, storyteller, platforms, the team. Balthazar, the dog, is in charge of funds. Very important member of the team. Very important. And then why a Kickstarter? We funded our previous games. Yes, they have a couple of games already. They are experienced at doing this. That's one of the reasons why I was willing to do this video as a compromise for not being able to play the game. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention about that. They did offer me 5 keys to give away. However, since I'm not playing the game and presenting it, I thought I would do this instead. Sorry. Pain spike. So, sorry. I'm just going to scroll up here. Now, why they're doing it, $5,000, that's living expenses, plus they wish to hire someone to assist with things. So, and the estimated delivery time is about 1 year from now, actually, I think. Yeah, for the I assume that to be the full game on Steam. So you can have you can pledge anything without a reward if you wish to. You can pledge $1 or more, and you get a special Balthazar thank you bark. Now, yeah, that's always nice. Seems like an awesome dog. $10, you receive the game on Steam. I really can't put my mouse over that because it just totally blocks everything. You receive a game on Steam and as a standalone download link. At the 15, where my husband and I pledged concept art book and soundtrack. Now that will be interesting. I'm always interested in soundtracks of games to see how well it fits of various things. Like I stand by the Age of Conan, the MMO that didn't do too well. The soundtrack, holy jeez, it is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And that mostly has to do with the fact that they had a full orchestra, but it very much fits the world. It very much fits the presentation that they were going for. So I always like the idea of soundtracks when they're offered with games, so you can listen to the full tracks and really enjoy the music for itself. And then you get a better feel for when the track comes up in the game, just how well it fits with, assuming it's done well. There have been games where they get the music way wrong. Just as you're sitting there, why would you pick this piece? It's way off. Anyways, criticism, but not about this, because, well, we don't know. And concept art book, again, both my husband and I absolutely adore both concept art and art within the games for things. I think we have one for Doom. We certainly have one for Dark Souls 2, I believe. The art book for that is just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And we have the collector's books for Elder Scrolls, just in general, Elder Scrolls and stuff, and all the art in that. And just, they're very enjoyable. It's awesome. So anyways, yeah, that's why we went with the $15. The concept art, yes, we could have gone more, but tight budget right now. The sorcerer level, you get more rewards. All future Artificer expansions of 50 or more. There's limitations, but there are 41 of 50 left. Oh, you get their other game of Balthazar's Dream, which is a platformer game. It is on Steam. You can take a look at it, and I do believe there are videos on YouTube, so you can take a look at that. An object in the game named after you. F50. That's pretty cool, actually. If I was to do something like that, honestly, I would choose a name that is somehow related to cats or feline for a plant or something like that, and that's what I would pick. You know. Or I could just do one of my screen names, was it Bao or Pao? The Chinese word Bao, which is leopard. You know, that's what I would do if we could do that. Warlock. You get... Whoops. Balthazar's Bark. Balthazar's Dream. And object gain. Yeah, and design a plant. You know, things like this. So it just gets into the more expensive things. Now, at this point, I'm going to be putting the link down below, obviously, and you can check out the Kickstarter if this sounds interesting, that it is a gathering, researching, RPG type progression game that can be quite sandbox like. This is very much the type of game that I do enjoy. And that is why that I wanted to do this video. I wanted to back it. And that sort of thing. Geez, been going for like 20 minutes. Wow. So, let's get something else out of the way. If you've made it to this point in the video, If this does seem interesting to you, follow the link down below in the description. Check it out. And if this seems like something that you would find interesting, consider backing the Artificer, the Science of Magic. I leave that decision up to you. All I can say is this seems interesting for me. Okay? And that's why. You know, we backed it. It seems to be something that may help me once it's in a finished state, may help me with my chronic pain, which will be fantastic if it does, doing that therapy play that I do. So, yes. Now, if you have never done a Kickstarter, this is something that you must keep in mind. Assuming that the project is backed, okay? Consider the money that you put into the Kickstarter to be gone. It is spent. You purchased something. And if things work out to your liking for a Kickstarter, that's great. If things don't quite work out, just chalk that up to okay. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with this, because obviously we put money in, but we've had one or two bad experiences. Well, considering that we've probably backed about 60 or 70 different Kickstarters for various board games and stuff, one or two's not too bad of a ratio. That we do feel comfortable in backing this. My husband knows his stuff, and it looks like this one's going to be a good one, in my opinion, for what I like of it. I think at this point I should stop. I'm just rambling. Like I said, please check it out. If this does sound at all interesting, I will, since we backed it, I will be covering this game in its entirety once it is complete on the channel. Oh, excuse me. Terribly sorry about that. Terribly sorry. Fighting a little bit of a bug, apparently, on top of everything else. Yay! Not yay. Because I've backed it, I will be covering this game once it's released. And I think we will have fun with it on the channel. I can't remember if I did say at anywhere point, so if you made it to the end here, when they contacted me, and they offered me a key to try out what they had so far, and then do a video, they also offered me 5 keys to give away on my channel. I do not have those 5 keys because I did not accept the offer. I'm doing this completely on my own. This is my own way of covering it. Like I said in the very beginning, for this part, just like, yep, I don't feel comfortable doing the game because of everything that I'm going through right now, and trying to do basically a review of it and present it to all of you and what I think, because that involves so much more mental work. That this is the best that I feel comfortable doing. And I feel comfortable in saying, yes, we backed it, and I'm looking forward to it. If you back it, I hope you very much enjoy the game, as I'm hoping to enjoy the game with many, many hours of play. Until the next video, please do be safe, everyone, and take care. Bye.